right, yeah, I think we're live now. What's up, guys? Ryan from Elevate Security back with some more live hacking. This time, it looks like no one else was using the curling box, so we can go ahead and resume the box that we were doing in episode 3, 2 episodes ago. Last week on Tuesday it was, I believe. And, yeah, I'm going to refresh my memory a little bit on this box. So, I remember we got credentials, and thankfully I saved them on my machine to get into the Joomla CMS as the administrator account on there. And I remembered we have this section here. What's up, Rocky? Welcome back. I am picking up on the box from last Tuesday, the Joomla box that we were able to get an initial shell on. See if we can get the root shell then from that. So let's see. In here in this Joomla CMS, there was this /error.php. That's where we put our script last time. Let me see where I put that. Okay, yeah, I know I have this in my downloads folder. Hey, what's up, Vikram? Glad to see you in here. So yeah, we are just going after one of the Hack the Box boxes. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I saw your comments. Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys are enjoying the content. Yep, what's up, Donald? Yeah, so I'll get you guys up to speed here. So on Tuesday, I did a box from Hack the Box called Curling, and we basically went through, did our initial recon on it, and we found there's a web server running. And then after that, we also found this /administrator directory, and we were able to get credentials to the box. I'm trying to remember how we did that. It's been a while. But we got credentials to this Joomla CMS as the administrator account. So now that we have that level of access, we can write our own PHP shell in place of this error.php file right here. Which device is best for giving OS desktop or laptop? It doesn't really matter. You can use anything. Actually, when I went for it, I went on vacation for a while, so I was just using my laptop. If you're using a laptop, just make sure, or if you're using a desktop, make sure you have enough RAM that you can run virtualization easily. I mean, I would say like 16 gigs would be great, but you could probably get away with 8 gigs of RAM. Just like a decent system. Source code for password. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right, Rocky. Yeah, it was just in the source code. We inspected we inspected the page source code. We found it in the comments telling us to go to secret.txt, I believe, and then the password was there in base64 encoded or whatever. We just decoded it. Yep, that's right. Okay, yeah, so what we'll do from here is just replace this with our own shell code, which I had right here. Where is it? Right here. But we'll need to replace this with our IP address, which is, let's see what that is, 10.10.14.24. It's been changing every time I've been logging in, like literally every day. So, all right, 10.10.14.24 this time. So I think I already had this script saved somewhere on here. That's why I'm looking. Not too big a deal. Oh, yep, here it is. So we'll just edit this for our current IP. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. So now that I have this, I think it'll be easier to open it how I had it before. That way it'll be a little easier to copy it that way. So let's go into opt scripts and grab that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all this and I'm going to paste it in here instead of the default error.php page. So now once I'm here, or was it index.php? I think it was the index.php page, to be honest with you. That's what I'm remembering. But we'll do this one instead, because I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let's save that, and then I think if we just go to, well, of course we got to start our listener, right? That way it'll connect back to our system. So we'll call this netcat, and we need to listen on port 1234 because that's what it defaulted to in our script. Well, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the new offense security certification? Oh yeah, it's good. I heard some pretty good things about it. Just looking through the syllabus, it looks pretty good. Keep in mind that the actual exam itself is still the same, from my understanding at least. It's just that they updated the lab. I will say when I took the OSCP last, like the lab was like, it was pretty outdated. Like a lot of the boxes were really old. Like I'm talking like, it was rare that you saw any system that was more recent than like a Windows 2008. Like literally I couldn't even use PowerShell payloads on the servers most of the time because they like had like such an old version of PowerShell. Didn't have anything. Whoa. Okay. Maybe someone else wait, is this? Who triggered this? I didn't trigger this, did I? Maybe someone else. Oh, you know what? Maybe someone else on the Hack the Box network went to the index.php page, so it triggered it for me. That's probably what happened. Because anyone that goes to the index.php page will trigger this payload and connect to my listener. So that's probably that's probably what happened. I didn't even have to go there. It's nice. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this shell because this is like a pretty dumb shell. It doesn't have autocomplete or anything like that. So I'm just going to copy paste it because it's a long command that I honestly just don't like typing it. So this is the command that I run here, this one. Okay, in this case, maybe they don't have Python 2. Let's try Python 3. There's a Python 3 version of this as well. Let's try that out. Okay, yeah. So in this case, we use the Python 3 version there. Let's see. So yeah, from there, another thing that I typically do is now I have the nice bin bash shell, but I want to upgrade it even further, so I have tab autocomplete and all that stuff. So I'm going to hit Control Z, and then I do stty size and stty raw minus echo. If you guys watch like IPsec videos, like pretty much run the same stuff as he does there. Terminal type screen. And yeah, it should be good now. So for example, I can tab autocomplete and all that stuff. I can up arrow, down arrow, all that. So now I have a really good full functioning shell. Quick question. Sometimes my netcat listener doesn't pick up my reverse shells. Just restart the box for it to work. Yeah, you know, sometimes, honestly, some of the boxes that you're going to come across, and especially on the OSCP lab, are really finicky. Like, it'll work one time and then the next time it won't work, and there's no real explanation for it other than, if you think about it, when you hack stuff like this, you're already using the technology in a way that it wasn't intended to be used in a lot of cases, right? That's kind of what exploiting things are. That's like the definition of exploiting something. So yeah, it's pretty reasonable to expect that a lot of times it'll be kind of finicky. Yeah, frustrating trying to figure it out. Well, yeah, there's just so many number of reasons of why that could be happening. But if you're certain that everything is set up right and it's just not connecting back to your listener, there's the finicky nature of the labs, for sure, just like exploiting stuff in general. And then, of course, there is like, potential firewall stuff that could be blocking it too. It's another thing, right? Depending on what firewall rules are in place, sometimes, say you're running Metasploit, right? Like a Metasploit exploit, that defaults to port 4444, right? And what happens is, the people that are on the defense side, the people that are like the administrators and stuff like that, they know that, a port like that is normally reserved for Metasploit, or it's a non-standard port, right? So they might configure their firewall to, if not to explicitly block that port because it's Metasploit, they might more generally configure their firewall to just deny anything coming in from a non-standard port. So sometimes when you have it connect back to your system, when you're doing these CTFs and stuff, especially the more advanced ones, you're going to want to use a common port, like a port 8053. That way, like on the network, it doesn't get blocked by the firewall, and this, if they're using like egress rules or whatever, right? So that's another technique you can try, because it could be that, you have the right exploit and everything, but the reason you're not getting connect back to your shell is that the firewall is seeing it on some non-standard port and it's blocking it. Now, in the case of these CTFs that we're doing here, it's really not that advanced. There's no egress firewall rules in place, so I can just run it on, say, connect back to port 1234, right? But yeah, in a more advanced environment where they have egress firewall rules and stuff, it's not that simple. I have to use like a port 80 or 53 or some kind of standard port. So yeah, a little tip there. But yeah, now that we're in here, I remember there was like a password backup. I hit something on my streaming thing over here, but I don't think it did anything. I'm getting some message here saying that the current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. So hopefully it's okay. Just let me know if there's any like quality issues. I'm sure you guys will. But okay, I remember in the, what was it, /home and then Florist, there was all this stuff here. And we weren't able to get the user text. There's a permission denied. And I'm pretty sure we can't go into this admin area either, right? Yeah. So what we can do, though, is look at this password backup. Let's see what kind of file this is. This is a text file. Okay. So let's just go ahead and cat it. And it's a bunch of hex. So we can we can use a tool called XXD for that. But I think it would be easier if we get it on our system first. So let's just we'll just copy this. And we'll call this what, password.txt or something. That's what it was an ASCII file. So yeah, there's an ASCII text file. So if we, I think it's what, XXD dash, what is it? Is it D for decode? Or is it R for reverse? Hex dump, convert the hex dump into binary. And so now this time we're gonna redirect this, because now it has this binary, right? So we're gonna save that into a file called passwd. And let's see what type of file this is. All right, so if you guys ever did, what is it? That's CTF over the wire. Towards the end, they have like a lot of this kind of stuff, decompressing a file, like unpacking it, keep decompressing it and stuff like that. There's challenges like this. They'll show you how to do this. But basically what we're going to do is we're just going to see what type of file this is. This is a bzip too. So we can do bzip. Oh, wait, we need to rename it first, right? So we use the move command to rename this. We'll call it password dot what is it? BZ, or is it BZ2? I can't remember. BZ2. We'll try that. So then, oh man, I can't type. -D for decode, I do believe. Oh, bzip2. Maybe it was just .bz. Can't remember. Okay. Okay, yeah. Now it's a. Whoa, what's going on? Oh wow. So yeah, now it's a gzip file. So .gz is what we'll make it. And then we'll do. We can do g unzip, I believe. And now let's see what it is. So now it's bzip2 again. Hey, what's up, good hacker? Good to see you in here. Let's see. Just going through the CTF right now. We found a file on the system, and essentially we're trying to decompress it to see what's actually there. So we're just going to do the same thing again. Oh, whoops. We're going to do the same thing again that we did last time. When you see me running the move command, that's basically just how you rename stuff in Linux, right? So when you say move, you say the name of the file and then like the destination, what you want it to be called. So that's why I'm doing that. Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that content creator, but yeah, I'm down to check him out later on. But all right, let's see. Oh, we can just do the with the -D flag again. And I keep making that mistake. Gotta say bzip2. And clear the screen. So now it's a tar. Okay, so now we do tar xvf. This is how we decompress the tar file. Well, okay, first, and I got ahead of myself. First, we gotta make this password.tar. And now we just do tar xvf. And now it looks like just a text file. ASCII text. So now let's count that. Cool. And this looks like it could be a password. So we know that Florus is a user on the system, right? Because over here we were just www data. We weren't the Florus account, as you see here. But we also know that SSH is accessible on this box. If we go back to our nmap that we ran earlier, there is SSH running. We have a user. We have a potential password. So let's try that out. Right. So we do SSH Florus at 10.10.10.150, and we'll give it that password. Yep. So yeah, it was pretty simple there to get the password. It just took a while. There was a lot of decompressing to do. So now what I'm thinking is, since we're here, now we can go through that directory that we didn't have access to before. And let's see. So what I'm going to do before I forget is I'm going to add this to my notes, because I always forget this type of stuff and it screws me over later. So let's say this is Joomla creds. And then this will be SSH creds. I'll just do it like that. Cool. So now we can easily get in here again. We don't have to do all the other stuff that led up to this. So now we can go back to our SSH session over here. And we can go into this admin area. SSH shells are always like some of the nicest shells you can get because it already has the nice coloring for you, the auto tab, you know, up arrow, down arrow. You don't have to upgrade your shell really. It's good. Let's see what these things are. These files. Okay, so we have a file here. And then you got another one. Let's see, report. ASCII text file. Okay, so this is taking by default a local host. I wonder how this is used. Another thing that we can do in the background is go to dev shm and run some kind of like priv checker. And this is something I would normally do. Though I am pretty confident that that obviously this has something to do with the box, right? Because that's why it's here in the first place. Oh, okay. What if we... So, okay, 127... This is the loop back address of that box. So if we just go there... In this case, this looks like... hang on, I'm curious. If we go there, what does it say? That would be the equivalent to going here, I think. Yeah, okay. So that's literally the output of going to the server, right? So, and this box is called curling. So this could have something to do with curl, because that looks like a curl output, right? Like, for example, if I curl... Oops. Yeah, see, if I curl that, then that's what it's taking, right? So I think URL is like a parameter for a curl command. Let me check my notes on this. See where I should go from here. If not, I might just look at the man page for curl to see. I wonder if we do like a watch on this report. Because it could be, it looks like a setup where, okay, right, you have two files, right? One is like the input to some kind of command, and the second one is an output. It's pretty, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume this might be running on some kind of like cron job. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just noticed this. Every 2 seconds, right? Or is that... I haven't used this one in a while. I forget how to interpret it, really. I wonder if I can check the cron tab. No cron tab for Florist, but there might be... Let me check. I'm trying to remember. There's a directory where I can check to see, because there's probably a root. This is probably how you would get the privilege escalation. So I'm guessing there is like a root cron job for this. Let me see. I just need to remember what directory that is, that I can see that. I think I have it in my notes. I have like a lot of Linux stuff in here. Yeah, I think, okay, I think it was here. So we get a var spool cron. Or was it? Yeah, we won't have permission to read this, but if we, let's see what permissions we have on this file, right? So we're actually the group owner of these two files here, right? So that means we can actually both read and write to this input file. So that's pretty important to know. So we go here, we can actually, we should be able to read that file that I wanted to see. If we do, instead of HTTP, we say file, we can actually read files off the file system with this. And since presumably it's being run by root, then we should be able to read this. I think, wait, cron tab, right? Yes. So if I can't report, hang on, did it? Okay. I think that looks good. Oh wait, I know. We need to specify root. That's the issue that I had there. So yeah, this is gonna keep changing it back on us. So it's like there's a script that automatically resets it. So let's try var spool cron tab or cron tabs. I'm glad I've been compounding my notes on this stuff. It'd be really hard otherwise. It would just be a lot of Googling, really. Okay, let's try it with this. And let's go ahead and copy this just in case we need to type this again, right? Oops. And in caps there. Connection refused. How I completed OSCP? No, not yet. I'm actually, that's why I'm doing this series, to both help you guys and give you guys some insight on this stuff or some practice, but also to give me practice, right? Because I'm trying to gear up and get my OSCP as well. So I figured, yeah, why not stream it if I'm going to be working on this stuff anyways, you know? Yeah, I could try sudo. Yeah, it's normally a good thing to try, right? sudo-l, you can see your permissions. Because we do have the password for this account, so yeah, not a bad idea to try that. Let me see what that password was. So yeah, we do not have sudo permissions. Yeah, that's always a good thing to try first because it can save you a lot of time. But when I saw the admin area thing there, I just assumed that that's probably going to have to do with the way in. That's the thing about a lot of these CTF boxes. A lot of times they'll just have pretty blatant files and directories that are there, and that sort of tips you off. But certainly on more advanced boxes, they could be rabbit holes and stuff. But yeah, I've come across on OSCP before where like all you had to do is run sudo-l, realize you have sudo permissions, and you just do sudo su, become root, and it's that simple. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not going to be that simple for us this time around. Okay, let's see what's the version of Kali I'm using in preparing for OSCP. Oh, well, this isn't the version of Kali that I'm going to use on OSCP. I'm just going to use the version of Kali they give me. The way it works is when you sign up for OSCP, they give you a link to download their specific version of Kali that's already pre-configured to play the most nicely with the exploits that you're going to need to be running and all the old programs that you're going to need to run on there and stuff. So I just use what they give me. I'm not going to deal with the headache of like, oh, your version's too new. It doesn't support this and this. So it's like, but right now, what version? This is this version up here. I don't know if you can see that, 2020.2a. It's not the newest version, but it's one of the recent versions. I got it this year, obviously 2020, but yeah, for OSCP, I'm just going to use what they give me. Input. Yeah, so that keeps changing back. Let's keep playing with this and try to see if we can get oh yeah, I forgot that I deleted what I had copied, so I'm gonna type this again. Yeah, we're gonna need to figure out how to read the file because we need more info on what's going on with that. What's it called? With the cron job and stuff. I mean, as you see, scripts are being run on this system regular. That's why I have to keep replacing this file. Right? It keeps getting rewritten. So clearly there's some cron jobs at play. I just want to see what they are and what account is run. More importantly, what account is running them. Now, I mean, I guess it has to be root, right? Because we're the only user account on the system. Well, it could be a service account, I suppose, but it's probably going to be root, right? Because we're the only user account on the system. When we went into cron tab or did a cron tab -L, we saw that we don't have any cron jobs running. So if it is in fact root running it, then there's some tricks we could try to get a shell, but oh man, this is really frustrating. Let me see here, do some Googling. I think I should have this right. Let's just go ahead. Here's something that I like to do in these situations. I'll just type it here, right? That way I can just copy paste it from here easily. URL file varspool cron tabs root. That's what that should be the correct syntax. Oop. All right, and watch cat port. Unless there's something wrong with the box, but that should be working. So yeah, we should be able to read the file. We could, oh, wait, what was this? This was it. This is it. Cool. Okay, yeah. So these are the cron jobs. So there's 2 jobs that we see here, right? So the first one that we see is we see this curl command here with the -K flag. I'm gonna have to look up that one. That's one I'm not too familiar with, the capital K. But it looks like it's some kind of input, right? Because it's reading from that input file, the one that we modified, and it's outputting to the result to report. So okay, that's kind of what we suspected here, right? But then after that, it's sleeping for 1 second, and then it's overriding the input, right? That's why we saw it kept changing back to that HTTP 127.0.0.1. Okay, yeah, this is really good info. That oh, well, now it's gone. I was gonna copy it, but we got the information we needed from this. So with that being said, we can read files. The easy way, the noob way to do this would just be to have it read root.txt, right? But I'm pretty sure I know how to get a shell from this. So let's try to get a shell. I'm pretty confident that you can. I'm trying to think here. So if we can use curl to read any file, then we can probably, okay, first of all, let's see what this curl -K is, right? -K. Config file, okay. So you specify a text file to read curl arguments from. Okay, so it looks like then based off of that, here, okay, here's some examples, right? URL, which that's what we had in our file. Also, you can give it output user agent. So what if we gave it like what if what if we change like the sudoers file, right? Like the sudoers, like etc sudoers, if you're familiar with that, is like that's how it determines like your sudo permissions. So if I look on my system, right, like my Kali account has sudo permissions. So etc sudoers. In this file here, we can see that it has permissions of all. So if we go in and do the same thing on this box, then we should be able to get that permission. So let's go to dev shm. The reason I like to go here is because this one, it resides in memory, so it's gonna wipe it out. So it's just like kind of good practice to put things in here. If I upload scripts on a system, on a Linux box, where I like to put it. So let me think here. Yeah, we'll use a wget command. So let's host or we'll copy our etc sudoers file over to like our temp directory or something. So let's see. Not in the active window. Okay. So if we copy etc sudoers to the /temp to /temp sudoers. Then we go into /temp and we can host it with a simple server. Python-m simple HTTP server. And so now we can grab that file. We'll use wget. .10.10 14.24, I believe. All right, so now we grabbed that file, and I think it has what we need. Cool. So now what we can try and do is, instead of, actually we can move that file from there to home Florus. I don't know if we have permissions to put it in here. Maybe we, yeah, maybe we do. Okay, we don't. That should be fine though. We can keep it here. So if we edit this file now, we remember there's 3 parameters that it needs, right? It needs URL, output, and user agent, I believe. And so here we'll do like before, we'll say file, have it read in the file from what, dev shm sudoers, the file that we transferred over from our system. And then what we'll do is we'll output this to I think oh yeah, we'll output it. That's what we'll do, right? Because the root account is running this, right? So because the root account is running this, has permissions to write to more stuff, read more stuff, write to more stuff than our user account, right? So we're just going to overwrite the sudoers file. So we're going to output to etc sudoers like so. And then for the user agent, we're just going to do, we can put whatever we want, right? So I think I saw super agent. That's what I have in my notes from when I used this curl command before. Oh, don't forget the quotation marks here. So yeah, that's what we can do. I haven't done this exploit in a while, so I had to dig deep in my notes and really like remember what I was doing here. But so okay, to recap to you guys, to explain it, because I didn't really explain this very well. So what I did here, right, we see the, and let me just copy this just in case something goes wrong. I need to copy paste it again, put it in here. All right, so anyways, to recap, what we did was we saw that there is a cron job running as the root user, root account, and the way we know is that it was able to access that root file, like, you know, the cron tab root, right? Only the root account's going to have access to that. So this cron job is being run as root. And what a cron job is, if you're not familiar, if you're familiar with Windows, right? If you think of Windows Task Scheduler, that's basically what it is. It's the Linux version of Windows Task Scheduler. You schedule tasks on there, and they just automatically execute, you know, based on when, you know, however frequent you want them to execute, like every minute, every day, every week, or, you know, whatever you specify in the config, right? But anyways, like every 2 seconds or so, there's this cron job that's running, and it's performing a curl command with the -k command. We saw the full command when we read from that that cron tab, the root cron tab there. We saw the actual command that it was running. It was running curl with the -k. Well, the $K, that's to read in from a config file, right? So we're going to create our own config file. and we're able to output it wherever we want as part of this config file. So normally they output it, you know, it's going to, regardless, it's going to get output to report, right? And that's pretty much like regardless what's going to happen. But remember earlier when we ran that sudo command, sudo-l, basically what that does is it looks in our etc sudoers file and says, do we have permission to run sudo commands? And if so, return with whatever commands we're able to run. In the case of how this box is configured, the Florus account does not have any sudo permissions until we change that, right? So what I did is on my box, I took my etc sudoers file, and we have inside there, we have the Florus account with all, meaning the Florus account has sudo permissions to run any command on the system, of course, including sudo-su and just become root, right? Spawn your root shell. That's a command that we can run, right? So we wrote our sudo file like that, and then we hosted it on our attacker's machine. So now what we can do is use curl to grab the sudoers file, because we already got it on the system, so it's pretty easy now. Well, I guess we didn't have to. I guess that was an extra step, right? Now that I think about it, we didn't have to put it on the system, right? All we need to do is host it because we're running curl, right? So we could just have it connect. In fact, maybe I'll make that change, right? We don't really need to do it this way. We can actually just do http:// (10.10.10). This is my IP address here. 14.24 sudoers, because we're hosting it. I think we're still hosting it, right? Yeah, so we're still hosting it. So we can literally just grab it like that. And now we're going to tell it, we're going to give it as part of the config file. Remember, there's a parameter output. So we're going to grab that file and we're going to literally overwrite the etc sudoers file that's on the system with ours. So now once we've done that, we should be able to run any command as root. And we can do sudo su and just switch to the root account if it all goes well. So let me actually copy that. This is the way I'm going to do it instead. So let's save that, and hopefully that wasn't, I don't have to rerun that or anything. Let's watch cat reports. We'll just watch it every second. But I know I took a long time to actually save it. Maybe that messed with something, so I know it was kind of finicky just to get that initial file read before, so if this doesn't work, I'll just try to sudo su and see if it applied. But yeah, I hope that makes sense to everyone. That was basically the way that I went about doing it. So it's taking a while. What I'm going to do is just try to straight up. And remember, we have the password. That's why this is possible as well. I'm just going to copy the password for this account from before. And yeah, it didn't go through. So let's try this again. Let's see. I think everything looks good here. And this is my IP address, right? Yep. Yeah, so that's my IP. And another thing that we can do is just see, oh, there was a GET request on it. Maybe we need to get it back to the drawing board on this, because we saw it actually did grab it. But let's try this again. watch N1 cat report. Let's just watch this to see. Just making sure I didn't miss out on anything here. I think everything is right. Try it again. Oh. Wait a minute. What happened here? Oh, we might have some kind of error in our sudoers file. It's complaining about the syntax near line 27. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Where did I host this on? Temp, right? Yeah. Line 27. Oh, I think it's complaining about this, honestly. Let's just comment this out. So see here, this is the line, right? Flores, all. This is basically going to make our account a root account. Ah, it's in read only. Hang on. I'll just force quit out of that. Why is it read only? Let's kill. Oops. Yeah, I'll kill this for right now. Okay, yeah, it doesn't have write permissions. So what we'll do, actually, here, we'll just change this from, oh, we can just do chmod plus W. So now, yeah, okay. So now we come here, and we'll just comment that line out. That was the line I was complaining about. It should be good now, I think. So if we rehost this, then when we go back here, just go ahead and copy this again. So everything else seemed to be fine other than that, though. It did try to execute it, which is a good sign. Definitely glad I copied that over there. That really came in handy. So yeah, we'll give that a second to run, and this time it should. College to attend. All right, good hacker. I'll see you later. I'll be back for another live stream on Thursday. But yeah, if all goes well here, we'll have the root shell here in a second. Yeah, thanks for all you guys that attended here. And yeah, hopefully we'll get this box in a pretty timely manner. Like I don't know how these are working out, but it's pretty much always ends up being like an hour. Either an hour and we get a bunch of stuff done, get an initial shell, another hour, and we get the root shell. I don't know how long that's gonna last because the boxes are gonna start getting harder as we do more of these. But all right, let's try this again. Sudo su. Password for Flores. Snag that really quick. And let's try it. All right. Yeah, there we go. There we go, baby. We got it. The root shell. Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I try to explain things in a really, like, a simple way. At least in my head, a simple way, right? I mean, everyone's at a different level as far as, like, how technical they are. So I mean, I try to balance it. I know like a lot of people are, security people are interested in security, so they're at least semi-technical. I think that's why, honestly, what makes my explanations better, right? Because, I mean, everyone that watches my channel is obviously like smarter than the average person, right? if I were to explain this to the average people, they would look at me like I'm just some nerd, right? Like they wouldn't understand. But yeah, like I know my viewers are like pretty smart, and so I try to like put myself in the perspective of like when I first started, and I try to explain things like that. Sometimes I assume certain things and then I have to sort of put myself in the more beginner mindset. But yeah, I try to explain things in ways that people can understand as much as I can. What is this default.txt? Oh yeah, that's what it was overriding it with every time. But yeah, we pretty much got the flags, all the flags here. So yeah, perfect timing too. It's about 11 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be back here on Thursday, and yeah, I don't even know what box we're going to be doing yet. We'll pick another one, and we'll go after it. But yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying this, and I hope it's been helpful for you guys so far, just to sort of see me step through this stuff. And definitely all the comments that you guys are leaving during these are really good. You guys have been helping me out as well. I got to thank you guys for that. And yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, but I'll be back here on Thursday, same time, from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we'll be going after another box. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and like if you've been enjoying the content so far. And I will see you guys in the next video.